NURBS.
Okay, so making wires, you want to first create some curves. Use this one, but these are both give you the same result. So I'm going to make a. So this is my path. I started drawing it from here. So this is the start of the line, and that's the end. So the direction is this way, right? You can adjust it. If you right click and hold it, you go to Control Vertex to make adjustments. But when you do make adjustments, you're doing it on these points and moving them around to make your shape, right? Notice that the first point is a closed square, and the second point is an open square, and everything else is a dot, round dot. That's what tells you, if you ever need to know which way a curve is going, a couple of different reasons why you'd want to know. You look at the control vertex. That's always the first. That's always the second.
NURBS.
All right, so this is your path curve. Now what you want to make is called a profile, the outline of the shape that you want. We're going to do a hose. I could draw a curve if I want, but I'm going to do a circle because you want to do wires. I'm going to move it and I'm going to orient it to kind of fit the entry point of the path, right? It doesn't have to be right on, but I'm going to put it close and I'll make it smaller. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is extrude the circle to go around my path. This is now called my profile curve. And the circle that I made also has CVs, so you can adjust your shape. So if you want to go a little more egg-shaped on this, we can do that pretty easy. All right, so now I got this egg-shaped hose. What I'm going to do, I'm going to select my first one and then my path. So I'm going to select my profile and then shift select my path. I'm going to go to surfaces. I'm going to go to extrude. Now it's surfaces extrude. It's not this other one here under mesh. This has to be surface extrude and open the options. So in here, a couple of things you want to do. You're going to see it like this when it comes up. So change the output geometry to polygons. Change it to polygons. See up here where it says result position, put it to path. That makes the egg-shaped hose show up where your path is, and that's usually better in my humble opinion. So you change it to polygons, and then you change it to quads. And then this number almost always is going to be somewhere around here. 0.97 will give you a nice smooth curve. If you need it to be smoother, go a little higher. If you need it to be less smooth, less polygons, you can go lower. I'm going to hit extrude. So there's my egg-shaped hose. Thing is, though, it's inside out. Yours may not be inside out, but mine is. So we got gray on the inside, black on the outside. All I have to do is select your shape and go to Mesh Display. You want to reverse. And that's what you're going to get. You can make wire people by making the curves. Now the curve tools that I showed you is a nice way to sort of plot a point, to plot a curve. If you want to just freehand draw, you can use the pencil curve tool. You can freehand draw, and that's going to give you the same type of curve,
NURBS.
the ones that has CVs, but has a lot more CVs. Okay, and you can extrude a shape off of here too, and I'll show you that in a second. But if I mess around with this original size or shape or whatever of the original profile curve, it's going to adjust the surface. If I move it, it's going to adjust, right? So once you're happy with the size and all that, I'm going to make mine a little bit thinner, for example. Do something like that. Once I'm happy with it, I need to disconnect these two, right? Because I might want to use this again, and if I move it, it's just a pain. So once you're happy with that overall shape, make sure you're happy with it. You're going to cut that relationship. You're going to go to, it's not the curve you want to select, it's the actual thing, the surface. That's what you want to do. Delete by type history. Okay. And then that'll disconnect. So whatever you do to this thing, it won't affect this thing anymore. So now I'm going to move this and show you that the freehand curve is going to give you the same thing, right? So I'm going to select the profile and then the new path, surfaces, extrude. My options should be the same as I had before. Again, that's at path, polygons, quads, 0.97. Okay, same issue as before. I'm inside out. That's mesh display, reverse. There you go. And that's the freehand curve. So that's obviously something you need to watch when you're modeling your curves, your wires, is you're going to get some pinching if you have a sharp turn like that and you have a wide. If I took this guy, that original curve, this is before I delete the history, and I make this much smaller to make this a really thin. There's your wire, and it's pretty freehand. All right, that's it. Good luck. Let me know how it goes. And yeah, of course, the ends are open, and you can model them to pinch them shut or do anything like that you want. But first, obviously, you want to get rid of the construction history. If you're happy with everything else except just the open ends, go ahead and edit. Again, select the geometry, edit, delete by type history, and then you can go in and grab your boundaries and start doing, however you want to pinch that guy in. Or if you just want to cap it at the end, you can use something called fill hole in the mesh. So select your mesh, click on fill hole. Because these were open holes, both sides are going to end up getting capped. And that's going to give you an n-gon, though. This face is not so great, right? So I'm going to select that face. I'm going to retopologize it by just triangulating it. And that's going to give me a better result for the end. There are many different ways of capping these things, depending on what you're making. Like shoelaces have that little plastic ferrule at the end. So you want to do something like that. Just make sure you're not swimming in n-gons. So again, I'm going to go to triangulate that one. And there you go. That's it. Now you got this wire that's been made out of NURBS.